reclaim your original state of grace. I had this one teacher in school. There were a few that, you know, how they stand out because they loved their work. They were just great. They loved it. And she said, you all have an A. Now keep it. You see. Everybody's already whole, complete, and perfect at the level of their divine true self, eternal self. And I like what the Vedas say, that 10,000 of us can fit on the end of a piece of hair. That's how tiny we are. And we're brighter, each of us, than 10,000 suns. And as you know, the sun is a reflector reflecting our state of being, our love, our self. So the more love, that means the more you're allowing yourself to feel the love, because the moment you hate, you now experience that. Just like they say, if you have a grudge, you have to make two graves, yours and the other person. See, for a grudge, I'm going to get even, I'm going to get you if it's the last thing I do. And it's all the false ego, and that is perpetuated. You see, to reclaim your state of grace, that state of being, you have to, it's like you have to be in that state we have to be in that state of perfect harmony with the divine. And when we are, we don't worry, because we don't have big plans for the future. You're not in that. You're so in the now, and always what you are doing would be exactly what you need to be doing in that moment, because your state of grace is you are always remembering your God within, your divine, your partner, your beloved, and never forgetting. And it isn't that you're empowering someone else. That's where we get our power from. And you know, you shouldn't use technical, mechanical terms to ever describe that which is divine. That's to try and say that the human mind is like a computer or something. No, and the computer is not like the human mind, the human even mind or brain. But let's go beyond what we think mind is. The human being, or the divine being that we are, that is beyond human, beyond the mind, beyond time, beyond form, because we're at that original state of being. And we are honoring the eternal agreement that I like that, how that is stated by Shmuel Asher in his book, The Land of Meat and Honey. And he did a really good job for people in those three basic religions, Christian, Jew, and Muslim. And it's good. And there's, yes. And also really also helps validate, I know, that the Essene teachings of the teacher of righteousness, Yeshua, which was actually, you know, a great teacher to bring us knowledge of who we really are. And he's great, and he lived and served in India for many, many years, and as learning the great wisdom of the masters. And what you see, that the knowledge is there, and what happens is that knowledge can be distorted, where it becomes fixated beliefs, which is a lockdown. And then what we're done is we're giving the power to someone or something else outside of the divine, or the God present divine within each of us, that we are part of. And it's not that and that is not part of us. We are part of that. You see that? So see, people don't understand. They want to minimize the divine. You can't do that. And because our source, our beloved, our partner, we're drawing from, there is no exhaustion. There is no tiredness. There is no what we have been perceiving as the only reality. You see. And when you regain your original state of grace and a state of being, it means that we would have to come back to our original self. And when we're in the original self, it almost means that we have to be in also a state of forgiveness. And forgiving means to be giving again, to open up our own flow of allowing ourselves to feel the love for and resolving all of the guilt and the shame and the pain and the suffering that we have been basically taught to accept and believe and practice and be involved with and agreeing to hell and damnation. And then another place called heaven, and who says you go where and where that is and what that is. And that is so common out there. When where is the heaven and the hell? And it's all these so-called states of being that someone else is describing. But what do you know, and what is true and what is real is you with your divine right there. So get to know yourself. Get to know the God, the divine presence within, and then you'll know the divine presence within me. You'll know me, and I'll know you. And then I'll also appreciate your own uniqueness, individuality, light expressions of who you are. Yes. So reclaim your original state of grace. And when the grace comes, there's no worries. And you work at it, the studying, being with teachers, learning from them. And, I probably invested millions, of dollars in my self-realization, God realization. And finding what I was looking for, my process is allowing that to be.